Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're weathering the storm okay. We had a pretty significant thunderstorm just blow through from west to east with a tornado watch for Dover, the town of Dover in eastern Duchess County, and then into Connecticut. So we're just awaiting any word on any storm damage, but it moved pretty quickly, and those of you in the central and eastern part of Duchess should see this thunderstorm blow through pretty soon. As I look out this office, it is certainly starting to let up and a little bit less rainfall. So hopefully you're okay. We want to jump into some information, but first let's start by recognizing the men and women who volunteer with our Medical Reserve Corps. I was just out with County Legislator Ed Hauser and Supervisor James Schmidt from the town of Pauling. And we had our pop-up clinic at Trinity Pauling School in Pauling, and again, staffed by just amazing volunteers. Our Medical Reserve Corps, they do a wonderful job. They have been staffing these clinics and assisting us over the last 14 months. And of course, they've been involved with county government for years, but these last 14 months, they really put in a great amount of time. April is National Volunteer Month, and we're grateful to all of our volunteers and to you for volunteering in whatever capacity you do. It could be cleaning up your neighborhood, like many will do this week in celebration of Earth Week and Earth Day. It might be volunteering in a food pantry or in your church or a house of worship or faith community. But it could also be giving back to some not-for-profit that you are passionate about. But we're very, very grateful for all of our volunteers, and it's a good time just to remember the countless people who have stepped up and continue to give back to the community. As we get through today's town hall, if you have a question, just write it in the live stream, in the comment feed below the live stream. I do that every time. Below the live stream, and we'll be happy to try to get to as many questions as possible. I do want to say this: we ended last week's town hall meeting on it was a little giggly, because my son Eli is learning some sign language, and my son Eli, who is 4, and like most 4-year-olds, I think more 4-year-old boys than perhaps girls. He likes to talk about poop. And so he's learned how to say that word in sign language, and I had our American Sign Language interpreters here who had to sign poop several times. So that'll be the last time. But if Eli's watching, he had such a laugh. He thought it was great. And if you know my son, if anyone's ever met Eli, you know that he is my personality, my wife's personality, and the personality of an entire circus wrapped up in one little person. Yesterday he started his own YouTube channel. He's not on YouTube. He thinks he is. And he starts by saying, "Hi guys, welcome back." So we'll see. We'll get to some questions, and we'll go from there. But maybe Eli's watching, and he'll maybe give me a new word to say next time. So with that, let's jump right in to some of our data points. Thanks for indulging me. First and foremost, we are now monitoring 902 active cases. Now that is down and has been a steady decline of active cases over the course of the last several months, in fact. So we're now 902 active cases, 61 hospitalizations, and a positivity rate that's fallen to 3.42%, which is very positive. So if I'm advising residents, keep doing what you're doing. Be safe, get outside. We know that being outside in sunlight and fresh air is very healthy for all of us. That vitamin D, we also know that in those kind of conditions, you're not likely to come into close contact and really cause any concern for greater transmission. So follow those mitigation steps we've talked about all along. But being outside, following those steps, we are seeing the numbers, all of our numbers, move in the right direction. And so with less than 1,000 active cases and now positivity rate finally dropping below 4%. Bob Miller, who watches our town hall meetings, and I'm on the radio with him on Friday, he's heard me say for months now that the positivity rate has been stubborn. It's no longer stubborn, Bob. We've broken through it, and for those of you watching and paying attention, we're making some reasonable progress downward, and that is just very, very promising and all very good news. talking a little bit about vaccine distribution and where we are. Let's do that for a moment. Dutchess County today, as of the end of the day yesterday, has seen 44% of our residents complete at least one dose of vaccination. And that's 129,711 residents, 44%, with now nearly 30%, 28.8%, having completed their vaccine series. Now keep in mind that that is 44% of our entire population. 25% of our population is not yet eligible for a vaccine. They're too young. So when you pull out young people from that estimate, we've seen, while we have seen young people transmit and contract the virus, that has occurred. I was speaking to a pediatrician group late last week, and they had started seeing some sort of higher numbers among transmission among younger people. But I will tell you, when you pull those young people out, that puts us over 50% of Dutchess County's eligible population having received their first vaccine. And by that number, we'll jump within the next couple of weeks to over 50% of both first and second dose completed. And all of that is very good, very promising. Thank you for choosing to be vaccinated. Let's take a couple questions, and there were a few that actually were vaccine related, so let me jump to those. Oh, good. Okay, here we go. Is the county going to make Pfizer available for everyone, not Moderna? I want Pfizer, whoever that was. We don't have a say in the vaccines that are distributed to us. There are Pfizer doses available in Dutchess County, and there have been providers. In fact, we've partnered with a pharmacist from Saugerties who's come into the county. We held a clinic over the weekend I think last week in the city of Poughkeepsie School District. That was a Pfizer shot and available for younger people, but the state of New York determines who gets which vaccines. We are provided Moderna and Johnson & Johnson. Talk about that in a moment. But if you're looking for a Pfizer shot, we'll advise you when they're available. There are, as I said, certain clinics, as we held over the weekend. There will be more where the Pfizer doses are available, in particular for younger people. That pharmacist and we have been coordinating with schools, so I think we're coordinating with Culinary Institute, Vassar College, Bard College, of course Marist, and local schools districts, and they've been working with school districts to try to make the Pfizer dose available. So they'll become more and more available, but the county health department, by the state direction, has provided Moderna and Johnson & Johnson doses. That's what we have to work with. What will happen if the Johnson & Johnson shot, but a booster is needed in the future? I don't really understand that question. If you got the Johnson & Johnson shot and you need a booster, it is likely, and what Dr. Wythian, our Commissioner of Health, who's an infectious disease doctor, what he's explained on several of our meetings, and we're going to have another live telephone town hall next Wednesday, and when we do, Dr. Wythian will be on the call for that. So he'll answer with greater detail some of these questions. But as we understand it, what should happen is, as we all close in on this thing called herd immunity, just like the flu shot, we will be in a position where every year you might be offered the COVID-19 vaccine. It, again, will remain by choice because, again, as we build up antibodies, folks build up antibodies, as we build up some degree of immunity and we have the access to the vaccine, a regular booster shot may become necessary, but by choice. And so at some point, they'll all be one doses, and they'll just be updated one doses, and you'll get that one dose from your physician or for a pharmacy that as you would with the flu shot. That's the expectation, and that's basically what we think we should be prepared for. Are we worried about problems with blood clots with Moderna and Pfizer too? We are not, and in fact, there was a news report earlier this week that Johnson & Johnson, I think, was actually being chastised by the federal government, CDC and FDA, for suggesting that Moderna and Pfizer had similar blood clotting issues. I'm not here to get into that debate. I will only tell you that as of today, we are aware of 7 cases of blood clotting that may be associated with the Johnson & Johnson doses. The FDA has conducted an analysis, and we expect, in fact, we expect today or tomorrow, the FDA to give guidance. Now, as Dr. Wythian said the last time we were all together, It is likely that the FDA simply suggests that if you are between a particular age, if you're female, and on birth control or not, there might be some labeling, meaning if you're in that condition, you're in those categories, if you're in those categories, that you should speak to your medical professional before choosing to take the Johnson & Johnson dose, but that we expect that the FDA will allow us to proceed with the Johnson & Johnson doses at some point soon, which is good, because if you're watching, obviously we want them to be safe, and assuming that the FDA confirms the safety and the efficacy of the Johnson & Johnson doses. Duchess County already has 900 doses that are available. It'll also allow us, with the single dose vaccine, to get to locations to be a little bit more nimble. You'll start to see us have smaller and smaller pop-up clinics. We could even be on a street corner, necessarily in a village. I don't mean on the corner, but at a shop or a store where we're maybe doing 10 or 12 vaccines instead of 200 or 300. And I'll get to that in a moment. Is the county seeing positive cases from those fully vaccinated? The short answer is yes, but I don't have a firm number. We have seen a handful, and I say handful. We're not at this point. It's not hundreds, but we have seen a handful of individuals who have either received their first and in some cases their second, and have contracted the virus. Now that said, remember. The FDA and the providers of the vaccine suggest, number one, on the double dose, when you take your first dose, you're in the 60 to 70% range of effectiveness. That means that there's 40 or 30% likelihood that you could still contract the virus, perhaps less severe. With the Johnson & Johnson dose, that single dose, remember, it is about 60% effective for sort of mild transmission. So it's possible you still test positive, but it's 90% effective in preventing any severe case. So it's possible that you could still test positive, but likely that you would not experience anything severe in either case. And that's the that's a viral vaccine. The flu vaccine has a 60 to 70% efficacy in good years. But we build up this degree of immunity. We have this buildup of the antibodies that allow us to protect ourselves to a degree, and that's the expectation with this, right? We all get into the routine of choosing to take the vaccine and overcoming the illness. The vaccine minimizes the severity of the virus. We overcome the virus, and it builds up for us a degree of immunity that makes it less and less necessary to be vaccinated, but still having that annual opportunity to do so. Do we know when restaurants will return to 100% capacity? When the governor decides. Right now, sadly, the state of New York is currently at 75% capacity. I will tell you, in my book, that is basically making sure that not every table is filled as you're working through the day. And I'll be very candid, 75%, again, if you're a 100-seat, do the math with us, if you're a 100-seat restaurant, you can have 75 people in that restaurant at any given time, which means that one table, 3 or 4 tables could be cleaning out as they're coming in. There isn't anyone who is going to be in a position to say to you, you have 76 people, kick them out. As long as there's a degree of turnover, right, and you're protecting against that 25%, the state is not necessarily doing much more than telling us to stay within that number. But I will tell you that the state of Connecticut is lifting all of its business regulations guidance, in particular restaurants, effective May 19th. We think that if people follow the basic protocols and we're all generally safe, that a restoration of full capacity at restaurants in a formalized setting certainly not something that we ought to be concerned about moving into the next several weeks. Now that we're outside, the weather's different, we're catching up with vaccinations, people have lived through the virus, but we'll see what the state says. That is a decision the governor does still get to make, even though I know, and you might be thinking this, but I thought the state legislature rescinded his powers. Wrong. All they did was kept him from coming up with new rules. He could still, however, govern the rules that exist, and anything that's already been on the books continues. And so, which is an issue, and I'll talk to a couple items when we get a chance that I do want to cover. Let's also talk a little bit about vaccine distribution this week. Welcome back. Dutchess County locations have 5,000 doses this week, right? We're throughout Dutchess County, 5,614 doses were distributed throughout Dutchess County this week. The county health department has access to 3,500 of the Moderna shots, and that's important. Now, I will tell you, we are at a point where supply is meeting demand. Now, I know somebody's sitting at home saying, I can't get my appointment. Well, we're going to make it easy for you. Supply has met demand. We are at a point now where at most of our clinics and at most locations throughout the county, there are adequate openings of appointments. There is availability in just about every location throughout the county, and we are getting to smaller and smaller numbers of people wishing to be vaccinated. Now, some of that is outright, right? We've gotten to a point where there are those who don't want to be vaccinated. That's your choice. I hope you consider that. Talk with your medical professional, talk to your doctor, talk to your family, make those choices. Some, however, still need to be communicated with, have some questions they want to be answered. So what you'll see Dutchess County doing, as other counties will be doing as well, is being much more strategic in how we provide access to doses. We're going to have smaller and smaller clinics where we might be doing only a handful here or there. We'll be going into neighborhoods and community organizations to answer questions. If you come to the conclusion you want to be vaccinated, we'll be available to you. So all of that is going to be happening as we transition. Another thing with our clinics, we are now opening for walk-ins. So in fact, today we took walk-ins at the Trinity Pauling location. There are 300, although they're basically closed up now. There were 300 walk-in available appointments today. The local colleges are assisting in vaccinating students. I'll get to that in a moment. Tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. at the JCPenney's location, we are open to walk-up appointments. So you're going to start to see that transition. We're going to be posting on Facebook and social media and pushing out regular notifications that basically say there's appointments available. Share this with friends and family, whoever wishes to come. Sign up. And is there a walk-in availability as well? We'll tell you that on social media. We'll send it out via email. You'll know. Again, tomorrow at our JCPenney's location between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. we are taking walk-up appointments. And this is, again, first come, first serve. And we invite you to take advantage of that opportunity, and there will be more of those. And as I said, what you're going to end up seeing is more and more posting on social media and the county's webpage and direct email that basically says there are appointments available, take them as you wish, share them with others, and again, there'll be opportunity for walk-up as well. I love this question. When will we know if summer town fairs and carnivals can happen? They can happen. There is no prohibition on community events like that. There are certain guidances that go into effect. For instance, we've already advised Memorial Day parades can happen. We just have to make sure that the congregate settings, right, the group settings, so like line up and breakdown of a parade cannot exceed the state guidance, which is basically 200. But what that means is you can't have 200 people bound together. If you can set up, line up, as I've done parade organization in my hometown a number of years, and you can line people up so they're not congregating 200 all at once, all together within that sort of close proximity, parade can happen, breakdown can happen. And we just ask people to watch in smaller groups. So all of that is permitted. Carnivals can happen, but there needs to be certain safety protocols. Basically, we want to be sure that you're not all coming in at the same time, leaving at the same time. We can't have all that massive congregation at this point. But we expect as we get closer into the summer months that even those restrictions will be lifted a bit. But it's kind of like a farmer's market, permissible. There needs to be certain safety steps. You know, we're following ingress and egress, right? You don't want people all bound up. You might come in one way and out another. And as long as the flow continues, as long as there's consideration for capacity in that space, these kind of activities are permitted, can occur, and we are encouraging them to happen safely. So that is currently permitted. This is a double pager. If you get one brand, do you have to get the same brand as a booster shot? Yes. Yes, the answer is yes. If you get one, you have to get the same. Yes, you do. So if you're getting the Moderna shot, you have to finish with the Moderna shot. If you're getting the Pfizer, you have to finish with the Pfizer. And as I said, when Johnson & Johnson becomes available, of course, that's a single dose. Now, talking about doses, if you are 60 years of age or older, call us. Just call us. We will schedule you. There is no wait. If you call this number or the Office for the Aging number, so if you call this number, 845-486-3555, press 1, give you an update on vaccines, then press 2. You'll get to the Office for the Aging. If you are 60 years of age or older, and you know someone who's 60 years of age or older, and they still would like to receive their vaccine, call us. We will schedule you. There will be no major wait. We'll get you right in and scheduled. We want to be sure that this population, who is generally more vulnerable, is vaccinated as they wish. And if you'd like, you can call directly the Office for the Aging at 845-486-2555. 845-486-2555. Remember, if you're getting your vaccine in Duchess County, you can take the bus for free. Ride the vaccine. Ride the vaccine bus. If you would like to ride free, if you're getting a vaccine and you have a vaccine appointment, the county's transit system will get you to those locations free of charge. You should have to show proof that you have a scheduled appointment, so we want you to be aware of that as well. Also, if you're watching and you're a business person, have employees, we want to hear from you. If you have an employee base and they want to be vaccinated and they have some questions to be answered, reach out to us so we can help educate, respond to any questions or concerns they might have. And if we can, we'd like to host a vaccination with you. So in particular, if you're 50 employees or greater, we have a need to have those employees vaccinated, again, their choice, give us a call, reach out to us, visit duchessny.gov, shoot us an email or contact the hotline, and we'd like to connect with you to make vaccine appointments available to your employees and your staff. So important to know. Will there be a Duchess County Fair? The short answer is I hope so. There should be. A couple things going in our favor. All the numbers trending in the right direction. We know that being outdoors, if we can keep space and limit to a degree of capacity, these things can happen. My family and I were at the Bronx Zoo over the weekend. Limited capacity. Couldn't tell. It was pretty packed. But everybody was respectful and safe, and they were able to work out the attractions. They were all open. So the Bronx Zoo is basically a fair without carnival rides. We believe that we'll be in a position to host the county fair this year. The second thing in our favor is, despite sometimes I have my issues with the governor does like the state fair. He likes the state fair a lot. So we hope that we'll be moving forward with the county fair this year. And of course, the folks at the Duchess County Fairgrounds, independent of county government, they're the Agricultural Society of Duchess County. But Andy and Parati, Vicki and Parati, and the entire team, they do a tremendous job, and they are ready to open. We believe they can open safely, and we want that to happen. So hopefully we'll see you at the fair. And if we are at the fair, I'll be selling milkshakes for the 4-H, not 4-H. It's not the 4-H. It's the mill. It's the dairy. It's like the dairy club. It's like one of the groups within the agricultural community. And I apologize, I don't remember which group it is. And if they're $5, I'm going to charge you $6. The extra dollar goes to the club. So with that, I want to talk a little bit about what we announced today. Spoke to the Duchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce this morning. I have to admit, it's my first time speaking to a group of people in a very long time, and it felt great. It was just terrific. Everyone was safe. It was a decent turnout, and spoke a little bit about both the challenges businesses face in the community, some of the services that we've already provided, and a series of things that we're moving forward with, notably our micro marketing program for small businesses. So we'll be assisting small businesses throughout Duchess County to help promote their services, to help boost foot traffic and sales. So in partnership with the Duchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, there'll be more information. I'll give you the link to get more information about this. But if you're a small business, independent small business in Duchess County, we want to help you. And we're putting up dollars and resources to assist with advertising, digital, online advertising on social media platforms, including a series of webinars for you to talk a little bit about and educate about small business marketing and the tools available to you. And with this program will come 1 year free membership to the Duchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, where you'll receive all the benefits of of a member. This micro-marketing program is meant to assist small businesses in really helping you to sell your products, sell your services, increase your, broaden your reach, increase your customer base, and help really promote your business and Dutchess County as a whole. You can learn more information about that at our Duchess Business Notification Network. That is DuchessBNN.com, DuchessBNN.com, and that's one of a series of initiatives that we're launching to assist businesses and economic development throughout Dutchess County. But our micro-marketing program, again, meant to assist small independent businesses really market, promote, and enhance your goods and services. And reach out to us at DuchessBNN.com for more information. We announced the launching of our emergency rent and utility relief. This is actually federal program that the city and county are providing. We're the point of contact for $1.1 million in federal aid that's available to low and moderate income households who were affected by the pandemic. And in order to apply for past due rent assistance and utility assistance, visit us on DuchessNY.gov. Visit us at DuchessNY.gov. Deadline for applying is May the 17th. As I mentioned, this week is Earth Week, although I have to admit, I thought it was Earth Day, and then it became a week. Maybe it'll be a month in a couple years, and then it'll just be every month, but nevertheless, which it should be. Earth Week cleanup began in so many communities across the country this week. Dutchess County is participating with our highway department. It does a tremendous job. The folks in the Department of Public Works do a great amount of work in the highway division. 30 county highways are getting cleaned over 4 days. So over 4 days, 30 Dutchess County highways getting cleaned up by the highway division of the Department of Public Works and the great men and women who work within our Department of Public Works. Now, this is obviously ongoing all year, but these employees have all been doing their part, and this week we're giving a little extra spring cleanup. So look for them. If you see them, give them a honk the horn, wave with all of your fingers, and thank them for the work they're doing. And if you have some time, heck, hop on out and give them a hand. Always happy to get some help, and important that we're doing that. This is Prescription Drug Take Back week, and our Prescription Drug Take Back Day is Saturday, April 24th. Saturday, April 24th. If you have unused, expired, or no longer needed prescription drugs, we'd like to get these out of your closets, out of your handbags, out of your purses, out of your cars, out of your bathrooms. A lot of times these end up in the hands of people who are dealing with substance use disorder, have an addiction issue, and we'd like to help you dispose of them safely. And there are opportunities to do that really at law enforcement agencies and other locations, I think pharmacies throughout the year. However, April 24th is a coordinated effort and Prescription Drug Take Back Day. So from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Home Depot parking lot across from the Marist College in Poughkeepsie, at the Walgreens parking lot at Apple Valley, that's in LaGrange, and the J.H. Ketchum Firehouse in Dover. There are drop-off points for residents, again, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. All you need to do is bring it. They dispose of it. Don't worry about it. No matter what you have, whatever you need to get rid of, we're happy to get rid of them. We dispose of them safely. And, of course, there are 11 permanent drop boxes throughout Dutchess County. And if you visit DuchessNY.gov, you can find a little bit more information about that as well. This is also Earth Awakening weekend. We just have a lot of Earth going on. The Dutchess County Parks Division is presenting our homage to our planet. Is that right? We have an homage to our planet. Did you like that? We have an homage to our planet, and the Department of Public Works and our Parks Division in particular hosting Earth Awakening Weekend. That's April 24th, the Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and April 25th, Sunday, 10 a.m. To 4:30 p.m. at Bowden Park. And this is in cooperation with Cornell Cooperative Extension, the Poughkeepsie Library District, and River Winds Gallery. So take advantage of that. There is the Tree Hugger Nature Hike. If you haven't gotten to hug things in a while, hug a tree. Hug a tree with your friend. No, friends. Hug. Trees. Okay, got it all. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, we're really just losing it. Our Tree Hugger Nature Hike our beekeeping presentation. Bees, very important. Pollinators, very, very important. In fact, strangely important bees. Bees hold together the entirety of our ecosystem. How this happens, you can learn. Beekeeping presentation, our park palette workshop. How do you like that? Park palette workshop. Is that painting? Painting. We're doing painting, park palette workshop. And so much more this weekend from 9 a.m. to 4:30 on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 on Sunday at Bowdoin Park. And if you don't get to spend some time at Bowdoin, visit any one of our great Duchess County parks. In fact, tomorrow we're dedicating and opening officially the extension of the Harlem Valley Rail Trail into Columbia County. If you haven't visited, it's just spectacular as it winds through that natural landscape. Just a spectacular addition. So thrilled that we finally were able to complete the Harlem Valley Rail Trail after all these generations, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful extension. Get out on the Duchess Rail Trail, and of course the Empire State Trail extension from Hopewell Junction. Of course, Bowdoin Park, Wilcox Park in the town of Milan, and very soon, Sean, very soon, we'll be kicking off the Hudson Valley Renegades baseball season. May the 11th, Duchess Stadium. We'll be, again, welcoming our boys of summer, the newest New York Yankees affiliate, the Hudson Valley Renegades, and we're working on it. I want to say this, the state has not yet met the request of stadiums across the state. We are comfortable. We can only host currently, I think, 25% capacity at the stadium, and the state is still requiring verification of testing or vaccination. This is where we'd like to be. Personal affirmation of that is sufficient. We're moving in that direction. We're pushing on the state. Simply acknowledge that you've met that expectation. But we don't see any reason why the stadium should have less than 75% capacity. We think we can function that way. This is stadiums across the state. We've seen and monitored activity in other parts of the country. They just cannot function at 25%. It's just not sufficient in order to pay the bills, to turn the lights on, to pay the employees. But that's where we are today. We're hopeful the state will move forward. I'm of the opinion that, as are many county executives who host stadiums like ours, that if you can pack Jones Beach or a farmer's market, which we know we can do safely, being outdoors in a baseball stadium in a setting where basically you're pretty much constrained to your seat with some limited set of precautions. Certainly, we understand that, and Major League and Minor League Baseball put that into effect. We believe that our stadium should operate at 75% capacity, and that we follow those other mitigation steps. We think that that's obviously appropriate, and we're hopeful the state moves in that direction. We also don't think it's anything more necessary than you personally affirm your health condition, that you're feeling well, that you don't have a temperature, and they monitor temperatures as you come through. We think that that is sufficient, and under the circumstances, as we move into this summer months, we think that that is more than adequate. And I'm not alone in this. The public health departments across the state believe this, accept this, and if you look at the protocols the state has put into effect in other settings that are much higher risk than being outdoors at a stadium like this, we think that that is absolutely appropriate. And so I'd ask you to join us in encouraging the state to do that, but that's our position, and we'll be continuing to push in that direction. But in the meantime, please do hope to see you at Duchess Stadium. We just installed their new lighting, LED lighting, so that's going to be gorgeous. Great addition there, and a lot going on. If you have a question, write it in the comment section below the live stream. Want to remind you that we are scheduled for Wednesday, April the 28th, for another update. This is our telephone town hall at 5:30 p.m., so you'll be receiving those annoying phone calls from me telling you that I'll be calling you with another annoying phone call to get on our town hall. We find them useful. I hope you do too. The residents we've had on, we've generally had several thousand on at any given time, and we've dealt with dozens upon dozens of questions, and we must be in the neighborhood of 70 town hall meetings, I would think. 66? Well, neighborhood of 70, not 66. Since we started responding to the pandemic 14 months ago. But this April one, we may end up having one last telephone town hall in May, but I suspect that we're at sort of the close of the telephone town hall series as we get through the vaccinations and frankly are in a position where we ought to be getting back to a more normal lifestyle. We believe it's safe to do so. But we are scheduled Wednesday, April 28th at 5:30 p.m. And we encourage you to be with us on Facebook Live. Otherwise, you'll receive a series of annoying phone calls telling you that you can join us on the telephone. Our next Facebook Live town hall is Wednesday, May the 5th at 3 p.m. Wednesday, May the 5th at 3 p.m. And of course, we'll be here live on Facebook. We are going to transition, Sean, start doing a little bit of in-person town hall meetings sometime very soon. What we'd like to do, I'd like to do, is highlight some parks. So hopefully there'll be, me, you, and Mark's and parks. So we'll see Mark at park. Mark's at the park. Mark's at the parks. Okay, we'll come up with something fun. But we think it's time to get together a little bit, and we can be safe and do that and encourage that to happen. But as I said, and I'd like to conclude, our data is moving in the right direction. People have stepped up to the challenge. You've followed the mitigation steps that we've talked about all these months. Our positive cases are on the decline. We have under 1,000 active cases. We're under 4% positivity rate, where we've seen that decline. And we are moving in the right direction. One other thing I wanted to mention, we are and have met with school districts. Our position is graduation should move forward. We want kids to experience as traditional graduation as possible. Obviously, being outdoors is safest, and we encourage that. We're working with districts to make it as easy as possible. And so hopefully you'll start to see some guidance from your own school district. But we have established an expectation that there are safety steps that can be taken that would allow a most traditional experience. More outdoor space, the better. And we think that there's a way to have our high school seniors graduate. I'll put in a plug. If you're looking for a commencement speaker, I'm free. But more importantly, I'm not. I'm free of charge. I don't know if I'm free for the date, but we want you to experience that. It's been very traumatic for young people. We will truly, as a society, regret not summoning the courage, the capacity, and the creativity necessary to get kids into classrooms or into class-like settings. And we have to make up for that. And so I hope government at every level understands how important it is to make up for this time lost, and really double down on investing in getting our kids the education and support that they need. This has been a traumatic 14 months for a lot of folks, and it will have a lifetime of impact to young people, and we've got to make up for that. That said, we'll be back with you again next week at our telephone town hall at 5:30 p.m. And then we'll be again on Facebook Live the week after, Wednesday, here at about 3 p.m. So in the meantime, stay safe. In the meantime, stay safe, be healthy, and be kind to each other.